So I told you guys it was going to be a long gap in between last episode and the guide and the newest episode, and there's still some gap. This is not an episode of the guide. This is just going to go over some of the characters you can unlock for free, and part of what makes me really love Raid with grinding for those characters. Now, the newest episode of the guide will be up shortly, and then also I'm going to have just a general account update as to where my account's up at tomorrow or the next day. It'll be soon. I think tomorrow, but going forward, we're going to go in and just talk about at least 4 of the crazy strong characters that Raid gives you for free just from progressing your account and completing missions. Now's your chance to become part of my team by clicking my link in the description to get the free legendary Elenaril as well as Vergis, Tagoar, and Deacon Armstrong as you level up. Here's how to do it. Log out of Player and Play on your PC and uninstall. Then click the link in the description and register using a new email address. From there, launch Raid, complete the tutorial, then go to your mailbox and claim your first champ. Lastly, use the promo code Desert Queen to get the insane Void Legendary Tawanaric for free on top of all those other free champions. That's all you need to do to get these awesome free champs. So click my link in the description now before it expires. Most of you will already have seen this character. The first one is going to be Arbiter. So this is when you start the game, everyone tells you focus on Arbiter missions, get to her, get her unlocked. She is account changing. Once you get her, it allows you to set up PvP teams. She has a revive for PvE. She's void, so you can use her in pretty much any content and not have to worry about elemental disadvantage. And she's amazing. So if you play with my download link, you're going to have Deacon Armstrong. If you have Deacon Armstrong, he pushes back the enemy, defense breaks, and pushes up your team. Now, Arbiter pushes your team up with her skill 3 by 30%, which is Deacon's 15-15, which is total 30, but you have the chance of getting resisted. So this is just innately better from just the regular push-up. It is just going to be more consistent because you will always push yourself. Then it heals all allies of 25% of their max HP if they have less than 50% HP. So that's going to heal up anything. If you end up going second, she's a character that's built really fast, generally your fastest character on your account. She's also a speed lead, which adds additional speed to her. Amazing character for everything, but let me calm down for a second. Now, this is going to also give increased attack. With increased attack, you're going to have a good damage buff. The only problem is she doesn't decrease defense. So that's where Deacon trade-off is. You can use Arbiter into Deacon, that'd be great, and there's a million other combos. I'm just bringing up Deacon because if you use my download link, and a lot of you that followed my guide series from last month that's still ongoing, there will be more episodes, that you will have like a character to reference. So from there, now the skill 2 is attacks all enemies one time, 75% chance of decreasing duration of all enemy buffs. So it's kind of like a stripping style character, but it's going to lower their overall buff. So if they have a 2-turn attack buff, it goes down to 1, and it helps you stay alive big time. Now, the skill 1 is just a simple weaken, but that is actually extremely good for basically everything. PvP, not as much, but PvE just helps. It's just a thing that helps. Now, she also has Destiny's Call, which is an ascended skill. Revives all dead allies. So she has a combat readiness push, and then once you ascend her, she's going to have this additional skill, and then whenever you have her 3-star ascended, revives all allies to 30% HP, then fills the turn meters by 20%, and then grants an extra turn to this champion if an ally was successfully revived. So you can revive and then push up right after. Fantastic. So she is the #1 character. And most of you already know about her, but once you get her on your account, it is huge, especially if you're free to play and haven't done many summons. So now, and the amount of average time it takes to get her, I'll try to give like an estimate of time that it would take. Well, for her at least, because the other ones I don't know. Some of them I haven't unlocked that I'm going to cover. But with Arbiter, some people have done it in like a month. It took me like 6 months, but I wasn't really actively pursuing the missions because I wasn't a free-to-play player. I was just summoning other characters and didn't feel like I needed her. But I would say if you really push these missions free-to-play and know what you're doing, 2 months or so, you can finish all these. I won't finish them in 2 months. Now, the next character is a character that you can attain for free, and this is one thing I want to bring up early because she's so important to start going for early, and that is going to be the Lady Mikage fusion. So, I've talked a little bit about fusion characters. This won't go deep dive into fusion characters, but as you're summoning characters and you're getting your account progressed, if you see any character with the fusion symbol on them, usually save them, especially if they're Mikage fusion, because this is a free mythical champion that you get that's good for literally all content within the game, and she is the most game-changing character I received on my account, even over a lot of my mythical champions that I've pulled. And I have quite a few. I have like 10, I believe, on my main account, but this free one is one of the best. She's one of the higher rated on any like content creator tier list that's been playing the game a long time. Now, with the fusion, though, you need 4 epics of this. Well, okay, sorry, you need 8 epics and then 4 regular rares, but then the hardest part for a lot of people, unless you get lucky, is going to be the void rares. Okay, now if you get lucky, you can end up just pulling these characters here and skip out on fusing the bottom part, which is huge. But one of the big things with this is they have summon events. I haven't seen one in a long time. They might not be doing them anymore, but watch for them. If they ever have a summon event guaranteed where you'll use 40 ancient shards and you will guarantee get one of these characters, always go for it. And once you start getting close to summoning on her, you will be watching for whenever there's a progressive raid up, and you will select, well, okay, this one isn't the best progressive because you can't pick non-legendary characters, but there will be the epic character here that you can select and put into your epic raid up and then get them from that. But Mikage fusion, if you full focus on just going for her with all your summons, planning it out, only summoning when one of these characters you need is on banner, she will change everything for you. It's so nice. Okay, we'll go into her skill kit real quick, though. And so she has two forms. As you guys that don't know, mythical champions this game have two forms. You're able to transform them anytime during a match. They do have a cooldown. You can't just bounce back and forth between them, but when you transform, you get an additional turn. So there is, I look at it as like there's a PvP version and a PvE version. This is the PvE version. Her skill 3 is going, well, she has a super good passive, which is cleansing at the highest attack ally at the start of your turn. Then the skill 3 is going to be teaming up with every champion on your board to dual attack with her, but she also gives them increased attack and increased crit damage on top of having her plus 4 other characters, or, well, in PvP it'd be 3, but 4 other characters all use their skill 1s with her. It's insane. When I talk about a game-changing character, anything with these extra attack, like bringing extra characters into their attack, you can get War Master procs off those additional characters. And plus, they're just regular base damage. Plus, if their skill 1 has a good debuff, if they're AoE, you'll get AoE hit and hit all the enemies. So many good combos that you can do with this. And she isn't the only character, but as a free champion that you can progressively move toward, it's one of the best. Now, going to skill 2, this is just like Arbiter skill 2. It's going to decrease the duration of all enemy buffs, but it also decreases ally debuffs by 1 turn, so she kind of cleanses, which is awesome as well. And then the S1 is going to pull a Shadowkin faction champion with her. So a character I use with her all the time is Ninja, because he was a free champ when I started the game. But there are a lot of really good Shadowkin faction combos you can do with this. And then it's also going to put a shield on them. So she has a bunch of survivability mechanics within her kit, plus a ton of bonus damage. One of the best characters in the game. Now, going into her PvP form, she is going to have her passive, which is the start of the champion's turn, decrease turn meter of the enemy with the highest attack by 15%. So when her turn starts, when you transform her, she can push back an enemy. Fantastic, but I don't really notice that too much when I'm playing PvP. Now, on the skill 3, though, it is going to give a remove all buff and place weaken. That's amazing. And then it gives increased accuracy, which isn't bad either, but there is some PvE use case for her. Whenever I say this is the PvP form, the main reason I say that is because she has that strip, and then she has a skill 2, which places a stun on all enemies for 1 turn and decreases their turn meter. So those 2 things, if you get her really fast and she goes first, she can completely lock down the enemy team, and she has the options of stripping them and having one of your next characters follow up and do an attack, or she can just, if they don't have stone skin or high res, you just lock them down and win the game right there. And her skill 1 puts to sleep, so it's extra control whenever you get back to return. If there's one character who's a main threat and on the enemy team, you just put it back to sleep and don't have to worry about it until the next rotation, because she will generally be faster than anything threat-wise that your opponent's going to have. Now, the next 2 champions I'll go over quick, but the first one is going to be the... We'll do Lydia. Or no, let's do Medusa. So with getting into Hydra, this is a content that's very hard, but it's one of the next things you should do right once you get your clan boss team. At least get your normal Hydra. Hard mode might take a little bit. But with getting your Hydra team built up, you're going to get Medusa. Okay, so Medusa is just a staple character that also is really good in Hydra, which sucks because you have to get her from going for... Or you have to beat Hydra to get her when she's good for Hydra. So I wish they'd put her somewhere else for unlocking, but I'm going to go in and go over her kit in just a second, so I'm going to pause the video here, and then we're going to cover one more character, which would be Lydia, if you have not seen her. Okay, so I always call Medusa, or Mithrala Medusa, but the character is named Mithrala Lifebane. She's another Void champion. 3 of the characters that we're talking about are Voids. One thing with Mikage is she's a Force champion, so red, but that's not one of the challenge characters. It's more of like a bonus character you get from summoning. But this character here and the next character plus Arbiter are all Void champions, which means, again, use them in basically all content. Now, going into her kit, she's going to have her passive, which is going to have this long thing, but basically if an enemy's under Hex, which she gives Hex, has a chance of applying Petrification. I actually got soloed by one in Live Arena the other day in the PvP game mode of this game, which was really funny. But whenever an ally is attacked by an enemy under Hex, 30% chance of applying a Petrification debuff to the attacker as well. So both those are fantastic, and then also increases this champion's resistance. The amount by which it is increased is equal to the amount of accuracy this champion has. So you can just build her extremely high accuracy, and she will get the effect res on top of that. So she always has infinite effect res when you fight her, which makes her very good for Live Arena as well. She's not just Hydra champ. You check her reviews. She's good for Hydra, Faction Wars, Chimera, Arena Defense, Demon Lord. Everything is good. Whenever they give out free characters in a game that are rated almost at the very top for every single content, if you check Arbiters, they're the same way. Absolutely amazing. Now, going into her, and she also has accuracy lead, which is always nice to have. Now, going into the skill 3, we have remove all debuffs. So she's a full cleanser, very hard to find. It feels like for me it was, at least on my account. And then places a 25% strengthen buff and a shield buff equal to 30% of this champ's max HP to your whole team. Absolutely amazing for survivability, and just that cleanse on a 3-turn cooldown. I didn't know it was a 3-turn. That's insane. Now, the skill 2 attacks all enemy, places Hex debuff, so that's where her passive starts kicking in, and then places 6% increased defense and increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. So increased defense and increased attack, both huge. Adds damage, adds survivability. You can't go wrong. And it's a defense scaling damage, which she gives her barrier off her HP here, but having defense plus that HP, it ends up working out super well. Now, the skill 1 applies poison. So it attacks 2 times at random. Each has an 80% chance of placing 5% poison. And then you can skill it up to 100. So using her for clan boss or any kind of dungeon content, whenever you have that skilled up, it's going to hit twice and have 2 poisons land. That's great. I mean, there's a chance you can get resisted, but you're going to be getting a ton of poisons off her skill 1s. So everything about her is just fantastic for PvE, with a little bit of PvP potential within her kit as well. Now, as I said, I got sold by one. I had like 3 mythicals on my team, and I lost to it in a live arena match, which is the real-time arena of this game. Now, the last character that you can get, one of the things we've talked about a little bit going through the guide, is Faction Wars. The character is Lydia. Again, another Void champion. So she's a Dark Elf. I just want to go out and show her ratings again, just like we did with the last one. And so you can see how strong she is. So, what? Was she in here? Oh, she was already where I just was. Okay, so Lydia. There's also some other champions you get for free for a login. That's the last one we're going to cover. But Lydia the Deathsiren. Okay, going in. I do not have her yet on my main. I can get her, but I just haven't put the time in for my Faction Wars. I need to. Looking at her reviews, though, a 5 for Chimera, 4.9, 5, 4.7, 4.9. She's good for everything again. And this is a free character, by the way. I'll explain how to get her. The other one was getting shards. You have to keep doing Hydra each week. You'll get a bunch of shards. You'll end up unlocking her pretty quickly, actually. And then her is going to take a while. But going in, her passive denies revive attempts. So those Wukongs and stuff you're fighting in PvP and arena, just put her on your team. Her passive, they're not coming back. Champion is alive when this enemy revive is denied. Revives all ally or dead allies with 50%. So she heals herself too. So fighting Wukong, or not heals herself, but boosts your team. And then grants an extra turn instead if there are no dead allies. Amazing. If this champion is dead when an enemy is denied, revives this champion. And 50% terminator. This skill will ignore block revive. Okay, so really funny. Now, next up, we're going to go into her skill 3. Attacks one enemy, 75% chance for poison sensitivity. And second hit, place a block buff and block active skill. So block active skill, super good in PvP. I don't know how much about it is in PvE. I don't really use any block active skills in PvE in any of my teams. I don't know if it's very good. For wave content, it'd be okay, but I couldn't put it on bosses. I don't know. Maybe in Hydra? Okay. I don't know. I don't know how much that works in PvE. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. Can't speak on that. Next up, we have the skill 2, though. Attacks all enemies, 75% chance of placing a decreased defense and a weaken. So you're getting damage multipliers on everything that you do after she rips her skill, which allows you to fast clear content. That's a big part of what she's used for. Also place a 25% strength debuff and increased speed. So 2 super good debuffs on the enemy, the entire enemy team, and 2 really good buffs for your entire team. Absolutely amazing. And then going down to the skill 1, it has a fear, and she can increase poison sensitivity. And the passive effect attacks enemies with the skill whenever they place any of these debuffs on an ally, and then the number of attacks increase according to how many debuffs placed. So with doing this, you can continually attack, lock down to your opponent, and she doesn't even have to move. Her existing on your team is unbelievably strong. Okay, so Now, those are the main characters. I'm going to go in and show how to unlock Visix. So as you go through your faction wars, this is one thing I'm going to be covering in one of the newer episodes of the guide series, is building your teams and just earning as many stars as you can. Once you full clear all of this, you will be able to earn her for free, and you're going to get a million different summons and other rewards along the way. As you see, I've only done 22 on this. I have not put much effort into faction wars. I'm going to start very soon, but it's something you need to focus on, and I'll show ways that you can get into it early. And some of you are probably already trying to do it, and that's a good thing. You can't really make a mistake here. You might end up building a champion that's not great, but if it's a low rarity champion, just use it as fodder later. You're not losing much. 2 6-star, a different character, and it's a win-win. So that's just a general part of progression, especially for free-to-play account, is you might have to build a character that's not great, even if you just put them at 5-star and then use them as a 5-star chicken once you have a good replacement for whatever that is. Now, from here, that's how you unlock her. We explained how to unlock the other character. Now, these free characters within the daily login rewards. These are all pretty solid. I'm not going to cover too many of them. I'm just going to cover one is at 180 days of playing. That's why I always say you don't have to be a hardcore player to enjoy Raid. If you just log in each day, do the bare minimum, and keep stockpiling your account with all the free champs you get and slowly work towards your goals, which is exactly how I play, and I love the game. Some people, I think, tried to play it too much and burn themselves out. If you're getting a little sick of doing the daily stuff, just take a step back and do barely anything, stockpile all your stuff, and then on a day you feel like playing, come back, burn it all out. But Syl is fantastic. We're not going to fully cover her, and then Visix is also very good. She's going to be the day 270. Or let's not cover Visix, let's cover Syl. So Syl, every time she takes a turn, we'll start with the passive. Heals all allies by 10% of max HP at the start of each turn. Also place a 30% increased speed buff on a random ally. So she's constantly healing your team, so the faster you build her, the more you're going to get out of that. Plus increased speed basically is just going to keep cycling around your team. Not the greatest on the speed part because it's a random ally, but the keeping your team alive from that ability, just a free heal every time she takes a turn, is great. And then she has a revive plus an ally protection. It's a single target revive, which isn't the best, but it's a free character at day 180, and just that healing plus that makes her very, very good. And then she has an AoE stun, though. This is where she is fantastic for wave content. Attacks all enemies 2 times, and then each hit has a 40% chance of placing stun debuff for 1 turn. That is her main selling point, in my opinion, for Barbarian. Faction Wars, absolutely insane to make it to where you can get to those higher levels. Having stunning characters or any kind of lockdown characters for Faction Wars is huge, but just for general progression, that's great too. And then skill 1's going to have a decreased speed, and then also decreased turn meter, which both are pretty good. So those are some of the highlight characters. We can talk about Visix or some others, and there are many other characters you get within the game, but these are the ones you'll get during the early portion of playing. So there's stuff that you can start working on now and be excited that, hey, these are coming onto my account. I don't have that great of stuff right now, but I know once I get there, my account's going to be looking fantastic. But I'll show real quick just a couple of the other characters that you can get. So one is Cursed City. There is a legendary within there, or sorry, a mythical that you can get. And then from Chimera, there's also a mythical here that just like getting Mithrala from Hydra, you can get Empress for free. Another mythical champion. It's free. I don't know how great he is. I think he can be super good, but I don't know how great he would be for if you got him too early on your account. But you will be happy you have him. Mainly he's a free mythical. So that's 2 of the characters that you can get. And then also they just added Faction Wars Hard Mode, which has another mythical character. So I don't know her ratings. I do not have her yet, so I can't speak on her. But I've been playing for about a year, and these are still projects I'm working toward that keep me excited about continuing to play Raid. So if you're already playing, but you're somebody who enjoys those long-term progression events, that's what got me into this game, because all the other games I play are short-term, feel-good reward, and then you're done. There's nothing to set your sights on and work toward, and I need something to work toward in the games I play that isn't just slightly make my account stronger. And Raid has everything I've wanted. It took me a long time to finally play it. I'm super glad I am continuing to play it at this point. But that's all I have for this video. So thank you guys for watching. If there are any other characters, I can do one of there's some free 3 stars and things like that. I did not cover those because, I'm sure most of you potentially already know about them, but I can make a video on that at some point if you would like, and cover, say, my favorite of the ones you can farm and what I would use them for maybe. But other than that, if there's any other video suggestions you guys have, let me know, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.